Hey guys, I'm gonna walk you through my home battery plus solar, show you how it works in my own house, how I'm using the battery to back up here in Costa Rica when I go out and have power outages, how I'm using it to get the most out of my solar each day, and how I use my monitoring to make sure it's all working correctly. Hi, have you ever wondered how your battery actually works with your solar? What's coming from the grid, what's coming from your battery, and what's coming from your solar panels? Well, today I just want to walk you through my house and my monitoring app here and how the different electricity flows to really support our system here in Costa Rica. First, here what we have is showing where energy is being produced and where energy is being consumed. So in the top here it says PV, that's photovoltaic, our solar panels. It's a little late in the day here, so we're only producing about 1 kilowatt right now of power. We're pulling 3.8 kilowatts from the grid. That's the electricity here. It's called ISE. Back in DC, it's called PEPCO. That's where we get our power. So that's where we're getting it from. Now, where's it going? Well, some of it goes to charge our battery when it's needed. Right now, our battery is at 98%, so it's not charging. Some of it goes to the critical load panel, or in this case, it's called the backup load panel. And that covers my plugs, my refrigerator, my fans, my lights. But what it doesn't cover is my air conditioning. My air conditioning uses a lot of power. So we actually separated that on a separate panel in this dashboard that's called the grid load. It's only getting power from the grid. And so this is a great system that we have set up here so that when the power goes out, I can keep working. My food stays cold, my Wi-Fi stays on, but you know what, the AC goes off for a little bit and that's just fine. Now, if we can look back at yesterday, we can really see how we're using the battery. It's really an interesting diagram here. So this is a 24-hour period yesterday. And what the red line shows is the battery, how full it is. So the red line or the pink line here is 100% at the top. And I have it set so that in the middle of the night, around 2, 3 a.m., I start using the battery. And so you see the battery goes down, 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 down till about 5 a.m. when it hits 37%, 35%. I like to keep some power in my battery so that I still have that backup, that emergency backup if the power goes out in the morning. Then as the sun starts to rise at 6 a.m., I'm using that power. If there's extra power, it will power my air conditioning. It's just my batteries won't power my air conditioning. And so we kind of start charging. And if we look at this orange line here, this is the photovoltaics. And that's slowly, I'm using more and more solar. And if you look at this flat line here, this means that we're not using any power from the grid from about 7 a.m. till noon. I'm just using the solar produced. And then, you know what? Yesterday we were home. We started turning on air conditioning. We started using more power. We also actually had a blackout. So in Costa Rica, it's quite frequent. And so you see here, my battery went down by about 10%. And so during this time period, a little afternoon, we were using the batteries, which is great. That's why we have them. Then they charge themselves back up with the solar, stay charged all night, and then it will repeat the cycle again. This chart's also kind of cool. You can see here's the battery usage, this green. When I used the battery last night, this green over here is when I charged it back up, but I still wasn't pulling anything from the grid. This below the line blue is pulling from the grid. It goes to zero. The whole morning, all I was doing was using my solar and charging my batteries. So this is a great overview of what my typical day looks like, where I'm using a combination of solar, using my battery to get the most out of my solar and still have that backup power. So in the middle of the day, if the power goes out, we have a battery that's there to supplement the solar. If you have questions, let me know. We love to help folks figure out the right system size, how they know what the right system size for their home is, how do they know what the right battery is. This kind of shows you we're at a 10 kilowatt battery. That's enough for your critical loads overnight. And then your solar system can reduce your cost during the day. Check us out at PuraVolts.com. We have a calculator there, and I'm always happy to chat if you have more questions. Thank you.